We are finally 1 month into the new year. It is the beginning of February 2024. So it's time for Xtreme Xpos, our monthly episode where we look back at the previous month to see what happened. It was cold. It was really cold. And we look at the future month to see what's going to happen then. It's going to be cold. It's going to be really cold. Hey, my name is Mr. X. Welcome to the Xtreme channel. We are giving away $1,000 statues to you guys. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey, thanks for tuning in for our monthly episode at the beginning of the month. I'm really excited because despite the horribly frigid temperatures, January was amazing for the Xtreme channel. Hopefully it was good for you. February looks to be even better, and I'm not just talking about collectibles, which when we say it was cold and it's going to be cold, that has nothing to do with collectibles. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Feels like so many different things are on fire and we're having fun. This weather, I gotta be honest with you, is tough, especially when you travel almost every single week. 1 week in January wasn't tough, just so you know. I flew from 89 degrees to negative 15. Talk about a shock to your system. But this is equally exciting for me because, believe it or not, this is actually year number 4 of doing these monthly segments. So that means this is the 49th time I've done this Xtreme Xpos type episode. And we're going to continue to follow the same format we always do. We're going to look back at my favorite collectible that arrived last month. We're going to look back at anything that I practiced #restraint on. Did I actually buy anything? I've been doing really good, but then we're going to talk about the exciting experiences and collectibles that'll hit this table in February. So if you see something you like and you're not subbed to the channel, make sure you do that now and you hit the bell notification, because everything we talk about today, I'm going to do detailed videos on, or I have in the past. So starting with the past, it's a no-brainer. My favorite collectible that arrived in January was also my most anticipated collectible. We did all those New Year's lists, and a ton of the anticipated ones have already arrived or are arriving, but without a doubt, XM Studios' Maestro on Throne version B was my favorite collectible that arrived. Is it my favorite one in my collection? I don't know. I will tell you this, at the end of this year when we do our top 10 countdown, it'll definitely be on the list. The question will be, will it be number 1 or closer to number 10? But I've been very proud of myself that I've been retiring over these last 2.5 years and not buying much. In fact, I think I went on an 8-month stretch where I bought 2 statues. Well, I broke that in January because I bought 2 statues in January, and I feel so guilty about it. Statue number 1 was this Venomized X-23. If this looks vaguely familiar, it's because it's from the same makers who made that recent Wolverine I got in December. So I'm sure they're going to do a fantastic job. This instantly sold out, I think. And again, so this is pre-ordered, so it probably won't arrive till about a year from now or so. This next statue I bought because I was on a waiting list. It ships next month, and I paid for 75% of it with points, so it ended up costing me a few $100s. It's a throne statue, and it's Darth Vader. So I got out of Star Wars collectibles for a while. I still have a few. I'm bringing this back in because I had empty room in my throne display, even with fitting Maestro up there. So I know a few of you have been asking, hey, what does Maestro look like in the collection? I've been doing tons of stuff on TikTok lately, and my TikTok's been blowing up, so it's really exciting. So make sure not only check out my TikTok, but I post exclusive photos on Instagram and Facebook. The link for all those is in the description below. We also kicked off in January, really quick, Gem X podcast. Again, this is not collecting relating, but we're having a ton of fun doing that. There's a link for that. God, this should be called, instead of Xtreme Xpos, time to whore yourself out, Mr. X. That kind of sounds like my typical Saturday anyway. Anyway, back to the collectibles. So those are the 2 statues I bought. Believe it or not, there was nothing else I wanted to buy. I didn't pay much attention, had a lot of fun, exciting stuff going on with the new year. I told you me and Mrs. X went on this huge trip. There's a video coming on that next month. Now let's move into February. Super exciting February for me. Mrs. X and I have a few trips planned where we're getting away from the kids. Those trips, at least one of them, I'm going to document for you guys because we are doing some really extreme stuff on it. I'm super stoked about it. My son now can officially drive his Mustang. Video coming on what it's like to drive with a 15 and 16-year-old in a GT Mustang. But let's talk about collectibles in February. Lots of exciting stuff coming, so Chinese New Year, which is where most of these collectibles are manufactured, they shut down the factories. It's a large holiday. It starts in February, so happy Chinese New Year to anyone that celebrates it. But because of that, they usually finish a lot of projects first. So because of that, I have tons of stuff in transit. Not only do I have stuff in transit, but there's stuff that's already hit this table that members have seen these videos, but you guys haven't, but you will see them in February. So these are what I like to call on-deck videos. For collectibles, we have this custom Venom right here. Absolutely crazy amazing. I'm actually looking at it in the display right over there. Also, this Magneto. Now, at the time I'm filming this a few weeks early, I haven't unboxed him yet, but the video will be set to go already in February by the time you guys watch this. Mrs. X has finished painting this huge Silver Surfer statue, so you will see the video on that, and then you're also going to see a comparison video. Let's talk about the collectibles that are going to arrive. So as a reminder, I do detailed videos on all this, and I'll give you more information, so this is kind of a teaser, what to expect. First, I have this Batman Beyond prototype coming. Really excited. Again, this is just a prototype. It's for a group that's doing some really cool DC stuff, and they have a number of other ones after this. And all these statues, so these are like the teaser, but I usually do a teaser on the Xtremechannel.com. So I do a daily blog on there that actually gives my opinion on any new statue releases. So make sure to check that out. There's some other stuff on the website that's cool too. Fuck, I need to stop whoring myself out. So that's a custom statue. Some other custom statues. I have the tracking on this giant Bane we've been talking about forever. I've had the tracking for about a month, so it should definitely come in the month of February. From that same group is this Weapon X. So again, this was just the render. There, I've seen pictures and video of it completed. So this is shipping before Chinese New Year as well. The only problem with this is it's so big, I don't know where I'm going to put it.
What? Why would she say that?
Remember this Catwoman? This was delayed, this Catwoman bust right here. Well, it should be done. They're finishing things up with some paint, and they ship express delivery, so I'm confident that will come as well. Paid the shipping for this Cyborg Hulk finally. And it's funny, there's another group doing a Cyborg Hulk. In my opinion, based on pictures at least, this one is way better. This Venomized Miles Morales is supposed to ship as well. That'll be really exciting. And one of the reasons that's really exciting for me is because combined with this next piece right here, this Venom transformation is supposed to ship before Chinese New Year. The reason why both of these are really exciting for me, believe it or not, these are my last Venom pieces with the exception of a throne. And the reason for that is there's a piece of shit out there who goes by the name of Gage Solinger. Here's some information about his personal life and his company. And the reason I show this is because he scammed a ton of people on this Knoll statue that you guys have seen in the past. So it's funny because when I talked about most anticipated pieces, I had a gut feeling that something was wrong with this, and it was. So I've sent him a few messages, he's reading them, but the cowardly piece of shit that he isn't responding. So I put up his information, and the reason I put up his information is some of that's kind of, so it's a dummy UPS box for that corporation, but there's some court records. I can pay someone about $200 to find out where he is, but if any of you know how to do it for free, go ahead and do it for free and let me know, and let all of us know. Which brings me to another one. This one hasn't gone that far, but I'm pretty sure it will. And I hope I'm wrong on this one. But I talk about this surfer. I told you I'm really nervous about it. Commissioner's not even replying to people now. I understand he's having some hard stuff going on in his life, but that doesn't prevent you from replying to people over a month. So I'm pretty sure this one is going to turn into a similar situation. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I deeply apologize and I admit it, but I don't think I am. Now that negativity and anger is out, let's talk about some more cool pieces coming in. We're supposed to ship this before Chinese New Year, so this giant diorama. This is Colossus versus Juggernaut, of course, and there's even a Kitty Pryde on here. So that's one of the reasons I redid some of the background behind me. But very excited to get this piece. Multiple switch outs, super dynamic, and I'm afraid of how big it's going to be.
That's what she said.
Blob, another one shipping before Chinese New Year. This is one of my most anticipated pieces as well. Super stoked to add to my X-Men collection behind me. It's going to go with the Brotherhood down there. And there's a companion Toad piece that's coming out a few months later. So I think that'll look absolutely fantastic. Another one, custom one shipping. And this one I kind of ordered on a whim. It doesn't really go with my collection anymore, but it looks so damn good. Was this Kingpin vs. Spider-Man. Again, it fell in one of my most anticipated. Shipping as well. My most anticipated list, over half will be here by the end of Q1. So that's really exciting. Now those are just the customs. We still have licensed ones as well. I have tracking on the Pattinson Batman by Prime One Studio, and I try and avoid other people's pictures or work in progress photos, but I've seen some and it looks amazing. I think they gave J&D a run for their money, absolutely. Very stoked to get this one in. And then I'm just waiting on one more, and I'll have all the Batmans minus George Clooney because he sucks anyway. Their Black Adam's supposed to ship as well. I'm really bummed they didn't go further with this. Like I said, the movie was a little corny, but it was action-packed, and I liked such a powerful character. I would have loved to see him, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and Henry Cavill face off. But I can enjoy the statue nonetheless. PCS's Blade, I'm told, will be arriving as well. It's on a container, so very excited to get this in, as well as this other vampire piece, Vampirella. Very, very cool looking pieces. Vampires. They're going to go with some other vampires I have. I can't stop saying vampires. I don't know why. Also, this one might be March, so I hesitate saying it, but it's not going to hurt. Life size, Mark 85, which is fine if it's March, because I'm whoring myself out, and that'll give me some time to get the extra 10 grand or so, whatever I got to put on it. So, very excited, especially since taxes are coming. Fuck taxes. You want to know how fucked up taxes are? Totally off subject. And it's not even April yet. As a business owner, when I write someone a check, say they make $25 an hour and they work 40 hours, I have to write the government a check for about $180 just so I can write them that check. And then the government is going to take, however much, $100 to $200 out of their check. And then the money they receive, they're going to go ahead and buy stuff where they have to pay more to the government just to be able to buy that stuff. And then at the end of the year, they got to pay more, or most of us pay more. I once did this math computation, and 1 year I paid the government, it was ridiculous amounts, personally, and this didn't include the business, but personally, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I know what you're saying, Mr. X. Well, you pay for services. What? I pay for the shitty road that caused my hubcaps to pop off my car. And don't get me wrong, I highly, highly respect police department. Even in some cities near me, like one of our businesses was robbed, the police were not allowed to engage. So they showed up while the robbers were still there, and then they watched them leave because they have a no pursuit policy as well. Taxes. Biggest fucking con of all time. And actually, you know what? That was a topic on Gem X. So make sure to check that out. So the last one is a statue I bought, and it's shipping, but I'm not receiving it. It's J&D's new Wonder Woman. The reason I'm not getting this is because I sold my PO to a virtual friend, and the truth is, I sold it at cost because I'm a big believer. If you don't actually own a statue and you've really done no work at all, why are you marking up your PO to sell to somebody else? That's what's crashing the hobby. That's one of the many things that's crashing the hobby. So just don't do shit like that. Don't rip other collectors off for your benefit. People that do that, I have no respect for. That's it. This was a negative video. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, best part of the video, throw down in the comments below what you got in January, what you have coming in February. I love to read your comments and that energy into the contest. But for now, I'll talk to you soon. Take care.